I'm going to share from some of my personal writings for whoever might need it. So I wrote a message to God. These are notebooks I have from 5 to 7 years ago and even a little more recent. So I wrote, I trust your handiwork and plan, and I'm sure before I did it was hurtful for you, doubtful, ungrateful. I still have lingering doubts, I guess. I don't want to see myself as able to be a murderer. So I can't see it as holy, and I'm not ready to release that attachment yet. So I can't understand why humans in Jewish stories, King Shaul or David or Solomon's story, when he was telling them to cut the baby when the two mothers fought, the Beis HaMikdash when they were eating babies when it was destroyed, it was the Holy Temple, there was prophecies like this. There was a wall from the congregation, the concentration camp, and last, the Holocaust stories where Rabbi Mangel said about the baby, and the Nazi tied a baby to 2 trucks with ropes and pulled it in 2 directions. And I don't want to see that in people. I don't want to see this destructive, wicked cruelty with babies. I want to build a world with love. Sheyibana Beis HaMikdash Meher v'Yameinu v'Yameinu v'Simchalkeinu Sarisacha. And I wrote, I promise myself and any future lover that I'll submit to your needs and boundaries, and I'll never try to squash your wild spirit or break you down, to bend to my command. I'll never put your safety at risk intentionally, and I'll never stop working on myself, trying to become a better person who's self-sustaining. I'll receive you in full, accepting unconditionally, and I'll empower you to protect your heart. Consistently, I'll not betray your trust and sabotage your potential for happiness, success, purpose. I'll honor the pace you need to go at. And I'll not abandon you just when it gets hard or make a mistake when you need some reassurance or encouragement most. I'll help you to see the good even when you forget there is any. And if I'm too much or someone feeling unsafe, unable to have my boundaries respected, forced to chase, or the only one given making effort, or having to forego my needs, or not having a secure connection that's reliable, attentive, soothing, and interested, present person who appreciates me and my development and challenges, so if I end up feeling alone in the continuous growing, then it's not for me. And I'm going to share there was somebody who I felt was my soulmate, and this is the letter I wrote. This is something I wrote, what I learned from him. My true soulmate will make me feel secure, wanted, and appreciated and loved, and will want to grow with me. He'll be able to commit and not run away when it gets rough and give up. Instead, he'll take breaks and learn new skills. He'll not reject me or want me to shrink and seek approval to overbend to him. It'll be an empowering, inspiring partnership for both of us. He'll be thoughtful, sweet, and want for me to smile and feel happy, but he won't try to fix and rescue me. He'll practice establishing, maintaining boundaries even when it's not easy. He'll be authentic and genuine and vulnerable, letting me accept all of him, and not try to hide or be someone else. He'll not need to always be a victim, and he'll practice accountability, inventory, taking responsibility in relationships, and he'll not pick me up and put me down only when he's in the mood of me and needs a fix like a drug. He'll not compartmentalize me or make me feel like parts of me are undesirable, either only sexually or platonically, but he'll possess me holistically. He'll not care about my on-paper accomplishments more than my actions, behaviors, and thoughts, and the quality of my compassion, awareness, and efforts will speak louder to him than the superficial aspects of me. He'll have depth and understanding. He'll not try to control me or want me to prove my investment through tests of my limits that he would try to force me to reactively participate in. He'll be a work in progress, and not need me to rescue and fix him, as he knows he can continue to become more resilient and awakened all the time, and doesn't need to depend on anyone to soothe him or save him. Someone who's not satisfied with a numb, dissociative coping strategy and strives to improve tolerance and regulation in healthy ways. My true soulmate will appreciate my development and challenges and have space for my particular ways of showing my appreciation too. My true soulmate will not take my devotion, commitment, and loyalty for granted, and will be capable of reciprocating and kind. My soulmate will be patient with me and believe in me and will invest in me. Even when I'm struggling to do this for myself, he'll have room for spirituality of all flavors and shades, and it won't be something that 2 people ever have to agree on to him. My soulmate will not need me to mind read, and he'll tell me what he needs without expecting me to revolve around him. My soulmate will be able to pleasure me in whatever romantic, sexual, mental, emotional ways we are connected. Then I wrote a letter to myself. I am crying. I'm so sorry I messed up. Please forgive me. I was wrong. I didn't mean bad, but it was harmful. Please don't abandon me. I made a mistake and I'll probably make many more, and I don't have anyone else. I feel guilty and ashamed for not listening to you, for putting someone else first, for not being present with you, for putting my value and worth into someone else's hands. Please let me earn your trust back. Please let me improve and grow. I'm a human being who's learning, and please don't reject me for being imperfect. I'm willing to do better. There's no one else who can understand me and love me and support me like you. You really are here to protect me and guide me, yet I ignored you and listened instead to that Shayna that's dying. The one who ignores you escapes you because she is taught to. She was taught to. She may not permanently disappear. She may come back in times of extreme stress, but she'll be up against an always improving and ever-strengthening immune system. I beg you, please give me another chance, Shayna. I want to feel happy and healthy. I promise. I want to be aligned within. Please continue to be on my side and give me a chance to also be on my own side. I know that it was a mistake to not have been present with my inner guidance and intuition. And the last thing I wrote here is a letter to that man who I felt was my soulmate. Okay. I wrote I wrote on the top, one of my soulmates, a role in each other's play. Forward, enlightenment, direction, triggeredness toward healing, walking each other home. Dearest, and I wrote his name. What a wake-up call it was to engage with you. I'm so grateful. It was so humbling to have you bring me closer to my true self simply by you following your intuition. You've awakened me to where I was giving my power away and sabotaging myself. An already dying part of me. But there were areas I had blindness to. I'm not sure these aspects truly die. Rather, it seems they get overpowered by a strengthening, growing immune system being established and maintained, so when triggered, they cannot control. I thank God for how you've contributed to my healing, even though it wasn't clear if you were seeing the bigger picture or simply also enmeshed and reacting because of fear, stubbornness, and pride. Yourself. I deeply appreciate your integrity. I want another chance. I want to grow together. I realize you're one of my soulmates. I can go into this later if you wish. And that calms me because it also indicates there's no need to rush. Allies, not just one of us teaching the others a dream come true for both of us, a chance to practice being angels with someone of our own caliber. This is only an option for us if you also want to grow with me, if you'll let yourself have permission to love me and be loved by me, to upgrade to a 2.0 version. I set up my main rule. I come first to me always, always, and you come first to you always, 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 so that we can make mistakes always. Always, I come first to me. Always, you come first to you. And always, I come first to me. So we can make mistakes, retreat into ourselves when necessary for recalibration, recharging, and leaving no one a victim. It has two components. One, upfront honesty, truly to the best of our abilities. And two, stating needs in an ongoing fashion as they arise in a reassuring way. In other words, we co-create honest, secure trust, and I have great faith in me and in you too. It seems like we're affected by each other in strong, unignorable ways, and that it is a level playing field where neither of us is more innocent or wicked than the other. If you truly take a step back, we're two souls touching the wounds of the other in almost a programmed way. Can we choose to practice giving the fellow soul benefit of the doubt and see they're also in it? We're in it together, even though we're completely submissive to God who has arranged us this way despite our resistance and ignorance. I think we can if we can do it for each other. If we can do it, if we each do it for our own self and not because we're trying to be saved, or to save. Neither of us choose to be born into the life we have from an awakened place. That's what this lifetime is for. Awakening. Love, Shayna. And I'd like to finish with something from Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, the Arizal. It talks about 8 gates. So we have introduction in it with the words from Rashbi, and words from our sages, and Rashbi is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and with mitzvahs, commandments, verses, intentions, and Gilgal, reincarnation. Ruach HaKodesh is the prophecy and nevuah. So main things of the structure of creation and the process of its rectification is the intro. And then Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's Zohar elaborations and clarifications, as well as new revelations that had only been hinted at. That's words. And then explaining mystical depths of great many statements made by Talmudic sages and general tips, general topics in oral Torah. That's words of sages. And then mitzvos and commandments teaches mystical basis for particular commandments, including a great many meditations associated with them. And then There's the verses, which is reveals spiritual depths and backgrounds to events and subject matter in the Bible. And then meditations teaches mystical underpinnings behind daily order. According to Jewish law, particularly daily prayers, and the second half deals with Shabbat holidays, vast body of teachings, not only on rituals and prayers, but many meditative practices and unique Kabbalistic customs pertaining to mitzvah observance. This is about kavana, intentions. So we see here the words, the commandments, the kavana, or the intentions. And the divine inspiration, which is called Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, comprised of hundreds of particular Kabbalistic meditations geared to heal and purify the soul as well as attain higher levels of consciousness. And there's the intro to the topic of prophecy and or nevuah. And then you have the nature of the soul, lengthy, a process of perfection necessary for each person. It also includes accounts of biblical figures, the majority, and their respective souls and roots, reincarnations. And this is about Gilgul, which is, reincarnation. So why did I bring this in? Because I want to give him the credit for this idea of the gates, that the words, the commandments, even sentences, and intentions, prophecies, the structure of creation and reincarnation are all gateways. So in me writing these letters to myself, to God, right? Like to my future lover, reminders, apologizing to myself, and so on. These are gates to access parts of ourselves that we may have been unable to in the past. I hope this was meaningful for you, enriching.